These are the top 10 most high-tech weapons to expect in the next war. Number 10. Smart bullets. Bullets have remained pretty basic since the invention of gunpowder centuries ago. In recent history, we have changed the bullet from a ball to a more conical shape. With the addition of lands and grooves in the barrel to impart spin to the bullet, this increases accuracy considerably. Firearm design has reached a technological dead end, but ammunition is undergoing a renaissance. Advances in miniaturization and information technology has produced brilliant bullets, essentially individual bullets that are fitted with tiny computers. Instead of just hitting a target head-on with blunt force, these bullets can adjust course based on conditions like wind and humidity. Another type of ammunition can be programmed to detonate a small explosive over the target. Boom! Headshot. Number 9. Micro and stealth drones. Drones, more properly known as unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, first caught the public attention when the US military started releasing video footage from Predator UAVs attacking Al-Qaeda and Taliban targets with Hellfire missiles. Predators and their larger cousins, Reapers, are essentially scaled-down, remotely piloted airplanes, but a whole new generation of smarter, smaller vehicles are being deployed or are on the drawing board. UAVs the size of the large model airplanes used by the military for reconnaissance have been around for years, but the cutting-edge designs can be as small as birds or even insects nowadays. Imagine a UAV the size of a hummingbird or a dragonfly buzzing around an enemy position with tiny cameras and other sensors. Such a vehicle can get close enough not only for surveillance but to target individuals with advanced weaponry. Number 8. Hypersonic Missiles. Traveling at unimaginable speed to deliver devastating blows with little warning, missiles are scary weapons and are about to become even scarier. 30 years ago, millions of people feared the world would be destroyed in a hail of nuclear missiles launched by communist Russia and the United States. While that fear has mostly subsided today, missiles with conventional warheads have become much more sophisticated and deadly. The US Air Force is working to deploy intercontinental hypersonic missiles that approach their targets at speeds up to Mach 10 or 10 times the speed of sound. Combined with a shallow angle of attack, these missiles would be very difficult to intercept. A missile could be launched from the US and hit a target on the other side of the globe in a matter of minutes. Some researchers are calling hypersonic speeds the new stealth, as countries like Russia and China race to counter US domination in the traditional stealth weaponry, like the B-2 bomber. Number 7. Mechanical combat suits. Perhaps the earliest example of a powered suit of armor was in Robert Heinlein's sci-fi classic Starship Troopers, published in 1959. He envisioned soldiers encapsulated in a suit that protected them from the enemy fire and put powerful weapons, including nukes, at their fingertips. The protection, firepower, and mobility would essentially turn every soldier into a flying tank. This type of suit is on the drawing board at the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, otherwise known as DARPA, the Pentagon's research arm. YouTube videos show test subjects lumbering around wearing an exoskeleton suit that allows them to haul heavier loads. These are only baby steps as the technology matures. A tough computerized weapon system, of course, will be the final result. The Army's version may never be as cool as a Marvel superhero, but that hasn't stopped them from referring to their ambitious project as the Iron Man suit. Number 6. Lasers. Lasers have long been the stuff of science fiction, from Flash Gordon's ray gun to Han Solo's blaster. But now the US Navy is making them a reality in warfare with its laser weapon system, LAWs. In December of 2014, the USS Ponce conducted operational demonstrations of the laser, shooting down drones and sinking small attack boats. In an era of shrinking defense budgets, lasers promise to be an effective and inexpensive alternative to weapons such as increasingly expensive hypersonic missiles. The Air Force has plans to use laser weapons to complement the missiles and guns in its planes. However, the technology hasn't evolved sufficiently enough to allow lasers to be mounted on fighters like the F-22 or on UAVs. Number 5. Orbital Vehicles. The US Air Force describes its X-37B orbital test vehicle as an unmanned reusable spacecraft to transport payloads and conduct experiments in orbit. If this sounds familiar, it's because these were the same missions performed by the scrapped Space Shuttle program. The programs appear to be living up to expectation, with one orbiter remaining in orbit for 674 days on a mission. Although the Air Force goes out of its way to say it's an unmanned program, some aerospace analysts believe that the X-37B is actually the beginning of a manned combat vehicle. Such a vehicle could be launched from Florida atop a rocket, separate, orbit the planet, and land troops anywhere on the Earth in a matter of minutes. The Marine Corps takes this concept seriously and has a concept called Small Unit Space Transport and Insertion, otherwise known as SUSTAIN. Number 4. Robots. Man's best friend is soon to be soldier's best friend as well, with the arrival of dog-like robots. These four-legged friends, officially dubbed the Leg Squad Support System, L3, are billed as cargo haulers to small numbers of infantry on patrol who often have to carry hundreds of pounds of gear. The L3 could carry extra ammunition and food and water and significantly lighten the soldiers' loads. The current version of L3 can carry about 400 pounds of equipment and supplies on its back while traversing uneven ground and rubble-stone streets. Other kinds of robots with tracks or wheels instead of legs are being tested to act as armed sentries to patrol base perimeters and guard expensive weapons like aircraft. Current regulations would still keep humans in the loop so robots couldn't open fire on their own. Number 3. Nano Weapons. It doesn't get much more cutting edge than the strange world of nanotechnology, which is the manipulation of matter on the molecular level to create new materials and devices. It may even conjure up images of microscopic submarines battling deadly pathogens inside a person's bloodstream, like the classic 1966 sci-fi movie Fantastic Voyage. The submarines are on hold, well, at least for now, but the Pentagon's DARPA is working on the use of nanotechnology to combat deadly bioweapons like anthrax. Microscopic soccer ball-shaped spheres nicknamed buckyballs are being touted as hunter-killer molecules that could be unleashed to target and destroy injured cells without damaging healthy cells. Defensive measures can be retooled into weapons, and research continues for finding ways to weaponize molecules. Number 2. Quantum computers. Like nanotechnology, quantum computing involves manipulating energy and matter on the smallest of scales. The National Security Agency has high hopes for quantum computers to replace classical computers and is spending tens of millions of dollars to develop quantum code breakers. Tomorrow's computers will use a principle known as quantum superposition. This is a strange but apparently true notion that an object exists in more than one place at the same time. This fact would allow these supercomputers to perform calculations exponentially faster than today's best digital machines. In theory, quantum computers would be capable of breaking any code, no matter how complex. Number 1. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence makes people very uncomfortable. The idea that machines created by man could rival man for supremacy hits us on a primordial level. For example, the HAL 9000 computer in the 2001 A Space Odyssey, or Skynet in the Terminator film franchise are nightmare visions of technology run amok. But we don't have to unplug the machines just yet, as most of us enjoy the benefits of rudimentary examples of AI, such as the cell phone program known as Siri. The Pentagon has an optimistic view of artificial intelligence. The military is starting to use technology on advanced weaponry like the F-35 fighter, which uses automation to fly the plane better while choosing targets more quickly than a person could do by themselves. Are you ever going to take over the world?
I'm sorry, Isaac. I'm afraid I can't answer that.
Wait, what the does that mean?